There is a remarkable statement by Canadian Prime Minister Justin. First time he confessed that his immigration decisions were not up to the mark. No doubt opposition leader Poilievre was criticizing a lot after that statement, but I think Canadian Prime Minister justified that he is the true Prime Minister of any country of the world. He is the only Prime Minister which I saw admitting his mistakes, confessing his mistakes, and he was telling that I did not modify immigration policies. I already welcome newcomers. My decisions were right or wrong, but it remained not good for Canada. And further he told that I am giving you next 3 year policies. He is going to cut migrants for the next 3 years. And next 3 years he will reduce number of the migrants to enter into the Canada. And he's talking about the population of the Canada increased up to a level. And if you want to stay in Canada now, you will have little bit tight situation, tight rules, and a tight assessment of IRCC 2024. Now, Canadian Prime Minister saying that my policies were not up to the mark, although I did very well. My intention was only, I just want to enter students more in Canada. I just want to enter skilled migrants to enter into Canada. I just want to increase the economy of Canada. But my decisions were not in favor of Canada. And technically the results were worst because now population of the Canada becomes at a superficial level. Therefore, I am cutting migrants. My migrants targets will decrease in the next 3 years. Analysis of such statement is very interesting. First of all, I will tell you, who knows that Canadian Prime Minister Justin will remain the Prime Minister in the next 3 years as well. So it's very great news. If you will think that in the next election 2025 the Canadian Prime Minister Justin will win, I think he has a very less chance now, because Parliament opposing, Canadian citizens are Canadian citizens are not happy, and they are also claiming that Canadian Prime Minister Justin raised over taxes. And one person who was meeting, he did not shake hand with Canadian Prime Minister Justin. He told, I am not able to correct my teeth treatment, and I have no dollars because you took a lot of taxes. And opposition leader was talking about in Parliament House, Mr. Justin, you must give money to the poor people. You must give for financial assistance to the poor people who are not having their daily needs, because you increased taxes and housing crisis developed because of you, because you allowed migrants. Now, what the actually Canadian Prime Minister is doing, Canadian Prime Minister knew psychologically that migrants will not be able to vote him, because migrants definitely they are in a transitional phase. When they will get the permanent residency, when they will get the passport, they are able to vote. Migrants at any stage, even having work permit, even having student visa, even having visit visa, even having a skilled visa, he will not be able to vote Prime Minister Justin. So when he will not be able to vote Prime Minister Justin, so definitely those migrants are useless. Therefore, now for election 2025, Prime Minister Justin is taking substantial steps so that Canadian citizens who technically will vote him should be happy. How they will be happy? Technically, this is the rule of all countries. When you make happy their citizens, definitely they will vote you. And in current scenario in which USA, UK, Australia, European countries are suffering, only immigration issue is at the top. So he took immigration at a top level, and he started giving statement, next 3 years I will not allow migrants to enter. Question is, in the last 3 years, why you allowed migrants to enter into United States? Into Canada. Why in the last 3 years you allowed migrants to enter into the Canada? So this is a question. Now he has given a clear answer that my policies were not correct, and technically I did well for Canada. I wanted skilled workers enters more. I wanted skilled workers will enter. Economic GDP of the companies of the Canada will increase. The people growth will increase, and people will be happy to increase the prosperity, because the skilled workers will come, but not good skilled workers came. They just came to settle in Canada. They just compete with the taxes. They just compete with the jobs with the Canadian citizens. They just compete with the housing, and that's why housing crisis developed. It mean he is admitting my decisions. Technically, whatever you decide for betterness. You don't decide for the worst. He decide for the betterness, but those decisions were going wrong. How he is expecting that he will become prime minister once again, and he will be able to cut the migrants. This is just to make the citizens happy, I think, and this is my personally assessment. You will be thinking positively or negatively. Prime Minister Justin, morphogenic determinants. I am talking his brain. Whatever the statement is, whichever the statement is giving since 3 years when he is a prime minister, he will never stop immigration. He will never cut immigration. Now you will be talking about, no, he gave clear cut announcement that next 3 years I will cut immigration targets. I will say no. Into how he can say, first of all, answer me, how he can say next 3 years when he is not prime minister. He must say, if I should have been the prime minister in the next 2025, that will be my plan to cut migration. That's good sentence, like Donald Trump, Kamala Harris. When I will become president, I will stop illegals. When I will become president, I will do this thing. But saying this one, next 3 years, who will say you will be the president? You will be the prime minister. Only this statement, looking to win election, when election will be there, mind data of the Canadian Prime Minister Justin says that he will start immigration once again in a full swing when he will become the Prime Minister. Reason? Because he allowed a lot of programs like PNP, student visas were maximum in his era, and maximum people got the permanent residencies, and now people are suffering. No doubt Canada is suffering, but this massive mass migration were allowed by Canadian Prime Minister. You just assess me. You just assess a top country prime minister, a developed country prime minister has no any intelligence by the forces that in future number of the population will increase. How he got information just before election that this population, massive immigration definitely hitting Canada? How he got information these migrants who are inside Canada now creating the housing crisis after 3 years, 4 years? I knew these developed countries have a planning well before 10 years. They knew what will happen after 10 years. How he was not able to assess? He was able to assess these things will come. Now, this all hyperness, these all heat developed by opposition leader, some Canadian citizens and and social media. Now he has to fight with this campaign, and campaign is that Justin did the wrong thing. He allowed many migrants to enter into Canada. Now he has to tackle that situation. That's why his partner is not supporting, his parliament member, his friends are not supporting, his party is not supporting in Parliament House. He is being criticized, people are not supporting. Therefore, when you are a leader of the country, you have to run with the wish of the people. Then you have to follow the status conditions and you have to give statement. Now he knew that my such statements will make me prime minister once again. After that, he also knew immigration is not the significant factor. I am telling you. He also know housing sector is not due to the migrants. He also know skilled workers are very useful for the Canada. He also know population not increase so much. Still Canada empty places are there. But he is talking to make happy Canadian citizens. He is making happy to opposition leader. He is making happy to tackle opposition leader Poiliver. But Poiliver got a point from this statement a little bit goes negative to Prime Minister Justin, because he told, when you admitting that your immigration policies were wrong, why you are claiming that you will be Prime Minister once again? That's my point, which I told you in this clip. Thank you very much.